Good morning. It is Friday, May 8th, 2026, and I am so incredibly glad you're here with us. You know, we start every morning with this burst of energy, and I want you to know, this isn't a performance. We aren't just playing for the microphones. It is our genuine, heartfelt wish for you to start your day with a sense of possibility. When we say we want you to have a great day, we mean it, right down to the core. Welcome back. Before we dive into the heart of today's show, I want us to take a collective breath. Today, we're exploring the intersections of how we carry ourselves, not just mentally, but physically. We're looking at the legends we create and the human reality behind them. Think of this next hour as a bit of a recalibration for your system. We spend so much time obsessing over our hygiene, our diets, and even our mental diet, filtering what we think and being careful with the words we speak. But there's one thing that almost always slips through the cracks of our awareness: our posture. The literal way we hold our frame against gravity. It's the silent language of the body, and it shapes our health more than we realize. To dive deeper into this, we're going to listen to a fascinating TED Talk by Murat Dalkilinch. He's a physical therapist who looks at the human spine not just as a set of bones, but as a dynamic architectural marvel. Let's learn how to stand a little better.
Has anyone ever told you, stand up straight, or scolded you for slouching at a family dinner? Comments like that might be annoying, but they're not wrong. Your posture, the way you hold your body when you're sitting or standing, is the foundation for every movement your body makes and can determine how well your body adapts to the stresses on it. These stresses can be things like carrying weight or sitting in an awkward position, and the big one we all experience all day, every day: gravity. If your posture isn't optimal, your muscles have to work harder to keep you upright and balanced. Some muscles will become tight and inflexible. Others will be inhibited. Over time, these dysfunctional adaptations impair your body's ability to deal with the forces on it. Poor posture inflicts extra wear and tear on your joints and ligaments, increases the likelihood of accidents, and makes some organs, like your lungs, less efficient. Researchers have linked poor posture to scoliosis, tension headaches, and back pain, though it isn't the exclusive cause of any of them. Posture can even influence your emotional state and your sensitivity to pain. So there are a lot of reasons to aim for good posture. But it's getting harder these days. Sitting in an awkward position for a long time can promote poor posture, and so can using computers or mobile devices, which encourage you to look downward. Many studies suggest that, on average, posture is getting worse. So what does good posture look like? When you look at the spine from the front or the back, all 33 vertebrae should appear stacked in a straight line. From the side, the spine should have 3 curves: one at your neck, one at your shoulders, and one at the small of your back. You aren't born with this S-shaped spine. Babies' spines just have one curve, like a C. The other curves usually develop by 12 to 18 months, as the muscles strengthen. These curves help us stay upright and absorb some of the stress from activities like walking and jumping. If they are aligned properly, when you're standing up, you should be able to draw a straight line from a point just in front of your shoulders to behind your hip, to the front of your knee, to a few inches in front of your ankle. This keeps your center of gravity directly over your base of support, which allows you to move efficiently with the least amount of fatigue and muscle strain. If you're sitting, your neck should be vertical, not tilted forward. Your shoulders should be relaxed, with your arms close to your trunk. Your knees should be at a right angle, with your feet flat on the floor. But what if your posture isn't that great? Try redesigning your environment. Adjust your screen so it's at or slightly below eye level. Make sure all parts of your body, like your elbows and wrists, are supported, using ergonomic aids if you need to. Try sleeping on your side with your neck supported and with a pillow between your legs. Wear shoes with low heels and good arch support, and use a headset for phone calls. It's also not enough to just have good posture. Keeping your muscles and joints moving is extremely important. In fact, being stationary for long periods with good posture can be worse than regular movement with bad posture. When you do move smartly. Keep anything you're carrying close to your body. Backpacks should be in contact with your back, carried symmetrically. If you sit a lot, get up and move around on occasion. And be sure to exercise. Using your muscles will keep them strong enough to support you effectively, on top of all the other benefits to your joints, bones, brain, and heart. And if you're really worried, check with a physical therapist. Because yes, you really should stand up straight.
That was Sigrid, with a haunting cover of Leonard Cohen's Everybody Knows. You might recognize that specific version from the Justice League soundtrack. It's interesting, isn't it? How these massive comic book movies have become our modern mythology. And speaking of comic books, you cannot talk about that world without mentioning the architect of the Marvel Universe, Stan Lee. He didn't just create superheroes. He created flawed humans who happen to have powers. He understood that the human part is always more interesting than the super part. As we think about the legends we build and the reality of being alive, here's Rag and Bone Man with the perfect anthem for that struggle, Human.
I spent quite a lot of time writing a 25-page speech that I could give you. And as I looked at it, I said, would I want to hear this speech? So I tore it up. So I stand here now, defenseless, with nothing except to tell you, I think you're all great. The fact that you're taking the courses you're taking, you're trying to help, to add to what you already know, to make yourselves better workers, better contributors. And I think that's great. I think also that I'm not going to make a long speech, but I'm going to tell you, I was told to say an anecdote. Anecdotes are easy. So I thought to myself, what kind of anecdote can I tell these people who really have more important things to do? And I figured I'm going to tell you how Spider-Man came into being. It's a true story, although sometimes it's hard even for me to believe it. But we had already done the Fantastic Four, and I think maybe the X-Men, I can't remember the order, but my publisher came to me and he said, Stan, I want you to come up with another superhero. So I said, okay, I went home, and when my publisher said do something, I'd better do it because I wanted to keep my job. I thought, what can I come up with now? And the most important thing in a superhero at first is the superpower. Once you get that, everything else comes along. So I thought, what power will I give a new guy? And I saw a fly crawling on the wall. And I said, hey, if I could get a superhero that could stick to walls and crawl on them, man, that would be cool. So I thought that was good. Now I needed a name. So I thought, well, let's see, Fly Man, Mosquito Man. I got down to Spider-Man. Spider-Man. It just sounded dramatic. So, okay, I had my hero, I had his power, his name, and then I figured just for fun, I'm going to give him personal problems. Because except for you people who are your lives are perfect, but most other people have personal problems. And then I thought I'd make him a teenager, because there were no teenage superheroes that I knew of at the time. So armed with all that wonderful material, those great ideas, I ran into my publisher's office and I told him. This was my reaction, the reaction he gave me. Stan, that is the worst idea I have ever heard. First of all, and he started to give me his, because he's a very logical man, very intellectual. First of all, people hate spiders, so you can't call a hero Spider-Man. You want him to be a teenager? Teenagers can only be sidekicks. And you want him to have personal problems? Stan, don't you know what a superhero is? They don't have personal problems. Well, I left the office disappointed, but obviously a much wiser man. And I couldn't get Spider-Man out of my system. So we were about to kill a magazine. I think it was called Amazing Fantasy. It wasn't selling well, and we were sending the last issue to press. When you do the last issue of a magazine, nobody cares what you put in it because the book is dying. Just to get it out of my system, I put Spider-Man in Amazing Fantasy, featured him on the cover, forgot about it. A month later, all the sales figures came in. My publisher came racing into my office. Stan, you remember that character we both loved so much, Spider-Man? Let's do him as a series. Now, why am I telling you this? Besides the fact that I have to kill a little time. If you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. That doesn't mean that every wild notion you come up with is going to be genius, but if there is something that you feel is good, something you want to do, something that means something to you, try to do it. Because I think you can only do your best work if you're doing what you want to do, and if you're doing it the way you think it should be done. And if you can take pride in it after you've done it, no matter what it is, you can look at it and say, I did that, and I think it's pretty damn good. That's a great feeling. So don't let idiots talk you out of something that you think is good. Just do your thing, do it as well as you, that's the important thing. Don't shirk. Whatever you do, give it your best shot. You'll be glad you did.
Shifting gears now into something a bit more atmospheric. The legendary Edgar Allan Poe once wrote about the thin veil between reality and the dream world. There's a certain rhythm to his darkness that feels very much like the quiet moments of a morning.
From childhood's hour I have not been as others were. I have not seen as others saw. I could not bring my passions from the common spring. From the same source I have not taken my sorrow. I could not awaken my heart to joy at the same tone. And all I loved alone. Then in my childhood, in the dawn of a most stormy life, was drawn from every depth of good and ill, the mystery which binds me still. From the torrent to the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun that round me rolled in its autumn tint of gold, from the lightning in sky as it passed me flying by, from the thunder and the storm and the cloud that took the form, when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view. Alone by Edgar Allan Poe.
As we wrap up this May 8th edition, I want to go back to something Stan Lee used to say. He believed that one person can make a difference, that the most important thing is to stay curious and keep telling your story, no matter how human or flawed you feel. We've talked about posture today, about how we stand, and about the myths we follow. It all comes down to how we show up in the world. Stand tall, be kind to your frame, and stay curious. We're leaving you today with a track by R.E.M. that captures that sense of wonder and the search for truth. This is Man on the Moon. Thanks for spending your morning with us. We'll see you tomorrow.